Was really a really good match, and it's actually one of the better matches in some time. As of right now, back to college basketball, man. Robert Morris is up 80-76 with 2.1 seconds left to go. So it looks like, well, there's a foul, but it looks like Robert Morris is gonna move on to the tournament, and it looks like they're gonna face Duke. All right, so next you have the six-man tag team match. You have the Mountie teaming up with the Repo Man. Excuse me, eight-man tag team match. You had the Mountie teaming up with the Repo Man, teaming up with the Nasty Boys to take on the Big Boss Man Virgil, Sergeant Slaughter, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So this one, they had a Family Feud host, Ray Combs, come out and do the introductions for each of the wrestlers into the ring. Now, as each wrestler comes out to the ring, Ray Combs, tells a series of corny ass jokes directed at the bad guys, the heels, until they attempt to attack them. The faces come to the rescue and deliver a quadruple clothesline, sending all four heels to the floor. Finally, things settle down when Axel Jim Duggan starts off with Sags. And Sags fires Duggan to the turnbuckle but comes off the ropes into a clothesline. The atomic drop from Duggan is followed by a tag to Slaughter. And then, Sags gets a shot, allows the tag in Knobs. The Slaughter whips Knobs into the quarter. Excuse me there. And delivers a clothesline and a gut buster. A double stomp and a back elbow following for Sarge before attacks to the Big Boss Man. So he whips Knobs into the corner, but Knobs moves out of the way of a charge, allowing him to tag in Repo Man. So Repo Man comes in and whips Boss Man to the ropes. Shoulder block from Boss Man connects, but he misses a big splash, and Repo tries to come down on Boss Man, but Boss Man gets his first. He gets his fist up for the low blow. Excuse me. So attacks Virgil delivers a drop kick and a flying crossbody for two. Now breaks up the cover. Repo delivers a side suplex and tags in Sags and slam from Sags to get the two, and he tags in Monty. Monty goes off the second rope and runs into the spine buster from Big Boss Man. All 8 guys end up in the ring as they break loose. Everyone ends up on the floor except for the Nasties and Virgil. And Knob holds Virgil for Sags, but Virgil ducks out of the way and Sags nails Knobs, allowing Virgil to pick up the pinfall, and his team gets the win. So again, man, it was nothing really special, man. It was a terrible match. This match is just as bad as the Undertaker versus Jake the Snake Roberts match. And as always, of course, the Big Boss Man, Virgil, Sergeant Slaughter, Axel, Jim Duggan, all got to win the match. All right, so next you have the WWF Championship match, which is kind of weird. They're gonna have the WWF Championship match like the middle of the pay-per-view. You'd think this would be the main event, but whatever. So the WWF champion Ric Flair defended, who came out with he came out with Mr. Perfect taking on Macho Man Randy Savage for the WWF Championship. Now, Flair won the WWF Championship at the Royal Rumble at the 1992 Royal Rumble, and he was originally set to face off Hulk Hogan, but Sid attacked Hogan, so he decided to face off. Hulk Hogan decided to fight Sid Justice instead. Meanwhile, Flair showed some doctored footage of him and Miss Elizabeth having sex, which of course caused Macho Man Randy Savage to go nuts. So Randy Savage, gets into the ring and chases after Ric Flair. Ric Flair runs. So finally, Macho Man attacks Ric Flair in the aisle. But Mr. Perfect pulls Macho Man off of him and back into the ringside area. Now Flair is able to get into the ring as Randy Savage is preoccupied chasing Flair around the ring. Back inside, Macho Man will hit the clothesline and follows up with the knee to back. Savage, counters an inverted atomic drop attempt and hits a clothesline before the elbow from Savage out of the corner gets a 2 count. Savage charges at Ric Flair again, but gets a backdrop, sending him all the way to the floor. Flair follows him to the floor, but delivers a chop and rams Savage into the apron. Action heads back into the ring as Ric Flair puts the boot to Savage, and Flair chops away at Randy Savage in the corner and delivers a suplex. That gets a 2 count, so Flair goes to the side suplex, gets another 2 count. Whipped to the corner by Flair. Whipped to the corner by Flair and stomping away at Randy Savage. And then Macho Man finally gets back up. Finally gets some offense firing out of the corner. And after a chop by Flair, they're coming off the ropes for a reverse neck breaker. Flair comes off the ropes, but Savage blocks the punch and attempts with a series of punches of his own. Flair goes to the eyes and then comes to the top rope, but of course gets slammed off. Flair begs off to no avail, and Savage whips him to the corner and backdrops him coming out. And a pair of clotheslines from Savage. From Savage as Flair continues to beg off. Savage whips Flair into the corner as he does the spot where he flips over and runs down to the other corner at the top of for a top rope move. Flair actually gets off the top, but gets met with the right hand, getting two for Savage. Savage continues by clotheslining Flair over the top rope, then comes off the top rope, with a double axe handle. That sends Flair into the barricade where he blades, which means he took a razor blade and cut himself to make himself bleed. So Savage fires into Flair into the steps, and then posts, which nets a Flair flop on the floor. Savage suplexes Ric Flair on the floor and heads back inside. He fires Ric Flair back in and continues to pound away at his head. And Savage goes to the top rope and delivers another double axe handle, getting a 2 count. Body slam connects, and Savage continues to the top of the elbow, which connects. Perfect breaks up the count, but pulling Savage off the Flair. Savage chases Mr. Perfect to the ring, and the ref gets in the middle of them. In the skirmish, Perfect slips Ric Flair a foreign object, which he uses to blast Savage with. That picks up another 2 count, and it gives Flair control of the match. Flair ties up the referee so Perfect can deliver a chair shot to Savage's knee. Miss Elizabeth heads to the ring as agents, including Shane McMahon. And Shane McMahon was one of the people trying to, stop her from getting to the ring. Plead with her to stay in the back. Meanwhile, Ric Flair continues to work over Randy Savage's knee as Flair hits the figure four leg lock on Macho Man as officials continue to plead for Miss Elizabeth to go to the back. Then Macho Man is able to turn over the move, and Flair finally breaks the hold. And Savage gets a small package, picking up the 2 count. And Macho Man sells the knee, brutally putting no weight on it. Ric Flair delivers a knee breaker on Randy Savage and holds his leg. Macho Man ducks a punch from Flair, rolls him up with a hand on the trunks to win the match, as Macho Man wins the WWF Championship for the second time in his career. After the match, Ric Flair gives Miss Elizabeth a bloody kiss, causing Macho Man to go apeshit and attack him. And Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect get the best of Macho Man after the bell, but officials are able to pull him off of Macho Man. Macho Man tries to get at Ric Flair, but finds able to calm down enough so he and Miss Elizabeth can celebrate. Absolutely, so it was a great match. Great match. Probably one of the best matches in WWF history. And here's a Macho Man after his victory against Ric Flair.
All right, thank you very much, Sean Mooney. With me right now is the brand new World Wrestling Federation champion, Macho Man Randy Savage, along with the First Lady, Elizabeth. Now, some might say, Macho Man, that was a questionable victory. You heard them talking about the tights and so forth.
Oh, do I care? I don't even care. It's okay. This is a piece of what I wanted from you, Ric Flair. This is what makes you tip. This is what makes you tick. This is what makes you tick from the inside out. And I just took a piece of you. You haven't been beat up properly. But I'm going to do that for you, yeah. This isn't all I want from you, Ric Flair. I want the whole Nature Boy. I want the whole Flair package. Call yourself the real World Wrestling Federation champion. Well, I guess I am now. And what you did to Elizabeth, I guess you couldn't make me any madder than I was before I went into the ring, but somehow you did it. You made it possible, yeah. You made it possible. Now I'm going to get the rest of them. I don't care if it's in the street, parking lot, doesn't even matter to me, yeah. Because I'll do anything to win. If I didn't prove it, I'll prove it next time. Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Wait a minute, if I may, Randy.
Yeah,
Elizabeth,
what?
After what happened here at WrestleMania, the fact that Randy defeated Ric Flair for the World Wrestling Federation title, in light of all of the allegations and everything that's been going on in past months, do you feel at this point that you're vindicated?
Wait a minute. What? This is yours. Take it and go. And this is yours, Ric Flair. Oh, yeah! This is yours! You can have all of me next time. Do you hear? Oh, Mr. Perfect, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm out of here. Oh, yeah! Just a beat.
All right, thank you very much, the Macho Man Randy Savage. We are in Indianapolis. We're at the Hoosier Dome.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is WrestleMania VIII.
And wilding out after he just won the WWF title, and he responded to Ric Flair kissing his girl right in front of him. So the next match you had Rick Martel taking on Tatanka, and this was this match was really special. Tatanka got the win. It was just a waste of time match. The next match you had Money Inc., the tag team champions Money Inc. As they came, that's Ted DiBiase Sr. and the IRS. They came with their manager Jimmy Hart. They took on the Natural Disasters. And again, it was another useless match. The Natural Disasters, they won the match by countout, but Money Inc. retained their titles. And then another pointless match, you had Skinner taking on Owen Hart, in which Owen Hart won the match in just 1 minute. So next up, man, was the main event. And the main event was between Sid Justice, who some of you guys may know as Psycho Sid, taking on